Fnaf is the most popular mascot horror game, if not the most popular horror game. But what makes it so famous? Is it the lore? Possibly. Is it the jump scares?
No.
If you ask me, it's probably the characters. And there's a lot of them. To the point where there's a book just about the characters. And there's nothing better than having build up to a character. That's why in today's video we'll be looking at characters that had potential that was wasted. Starting off the list, no surprise, is Vanessa. I mean, it won't be a wasted potential video without Vanessa. And as much as she's one of my favorite Five Nights at Freddy's character, one does have to agree that this is basically the example of... In my last video, we talked about Help Wanted lore and how she was part of it. It still surprises me that so many Five Nights at Freddy's fans only know Vanessa from her security breach appearances. They even made a glitch trap voice line that matches with Vanessa's. And she also has some lore involvement in special delivery, but we don't talk about that. All this goes to show how much build-up this character had. And when the security breach cover dropped, and you can see the Vanny mask from Help Wanted, everyone was hyped. And on December 16, 2021, the game finally released. It was almost perfect. Even if you weren't a Fnaf fan, you would get hours and hours of adventure, good characters, good graphics, but yet it wasn't received well, with around 50-50 split between negative and positive reviews. And one of the main reasons was Vanessa. She barely had any appearances excluding the beginning of the game. And even though she's the center of attention lore-wise in this game, gameplay-wise it was a big letdown. But she still had a chance of becoming more of a crucial character in the next couple of games. But then Ruin came along, and the canon ending they picked was the Vanny ending, where Glamrock Freddy and Vanessa both get killed, killing two characters we still haven't fully discovered. Ever since the company was passed over to Steelroll, they've been teasing this character just for her to get killed by Gregory. They still have a Vanny mask in Ruin and Help Wanted too, but that's really it. Next up on the list is Ennard, who I like to believe is the scariest character in Fnaf. Ennard is an amalgamation between the sister location animatronics and comes to life on the custom night. And it's one of the scariest things in Fnaf, alongside Fnaf 4 gameplay and UCN jump scares. I mean, name a scarier character from the Fnaf games than Ennard. And the best thing is that it can mimic voices, go into different shapes and forms, basically the mimic before the mimic, and is like actually scary. And on December 4th, 2017, the next game, Pizza Sim, dropped. It was filled with lore, packed with mini games, missing of good gameplay, but more importantly, missing of Ennard. And it turns out one of the characters, Molten Freddy, is Ennard just without Circus Baby. So we only really got Custom Night with Ennard, and that's it. Yet he still makes a bunch of appearances after Pizza Sim, like Ultimate Custom Night, Help Wanted, and Help Wanted 2. But again, that's it for Ennard. Next is Sun and Moon from Security Breach. One of the only recent original characters in Five Nights at Freddy's, other than Vanessa again. In Security Breach, one of the first boss sections is Suns. What intrigues me most about them is how hostile Moon is, even though he's the same body as Sun. And it's not a glitch because we see him on multiple merchandise, and it's not like you're gonna advertise someone who's attacking everybody, I guess. They probably have the scariest section in Security Breach, which I know isn't hard to beat, but it's something. But after this section, they play such little roles. The only thing they do is the hourly recharge, which isn't necessarily hard, just kind of annoying. He is such a cool character, but to waste him on just one section? Luckily, he is one, if not the only character from Security Breach that doesn't get broken by Gregory. Yet somehow, when you add his section in Ruin, he himself gets ruined, even though nothing happened to him. And I know it won't be Ruin DLC if the characters themselves aren't ruined, But how is he half destroyed? Does that mean when the Pizzaplex shut down, he scraped his own eye out? Does that mean he cut off his own foot? I think I brought my point across. And it doesn't end there, because at the end of that section, Sun and Moon mix, turning into eclipse, which no one asked for. But they surprisingly had a bunch of appearances in Help Wanted 2, especially Moon. You could barely go a level without Moon or Plus Baby. It's nice these two characters haven't been completely forgotten. By two characters, I don't mean Plus Baby and Moon, I just mean Moon and Sun. Help Wanted 2 was also the first time you can see Sun hostile. In his arts and craft level, where if you take too long, not Moon, Sun himself will jump scare you. He also has a black light level where he almost looks the same, but this time if you mess it up, it will be Moon who jump scares you. They seem to be the only Security Beats characters that Steelworld haven't completely forgotten, and while in the Ruin timeline their story might be over, or continued by Eclipse or whatever, they still seem to be in mind for Steelworld, and hopefully we will learn more about them later in the games. That isn't Secret of the Mimic, by the way. Next one's going to be a quick one because there's not much information on them and I just wanted to mention them a bit, but it's Lolbit from in Five Nights at Freddy's World. I actually just realized how weird it sounds to say Five Nights at Freddy's World. In Fnaf World, one of the characters you can interact with is Lolbit, a white and orangey kind of foxy. People didn't really think much about it and just took it as another cool character. But then Sister Location came out, and one of the main characters? Looks quite familiar. It's pretty clear when they got the design inspiration from, but that's not it, because this can happen. And this Easter egg was strangely loved by the community, even though it's just Funtime Foxy recolored. But the only other times we see Lolbit was UCN where she plays a similar role, and Help Wanted where she just replaces Funtime Foxy. But this section is basically the same with more animatronics. Lolbit became less of an Easter egg and more of a mascot for the series. And I'm sure throughout some of the games you can find multiple pluses of her. The last character, or shall I say characters, we'll be talking about in this video are the Shadow animatronics. The Shadow animatronics are Shadow Freddy and Shadow Bonnie. One of what makes these guys so interesting are how different they are to each other. While they both go under the same name, one is a recolor of a wizard and one is a recolor of a toy. Shadow Freddy is more of just a purple golden Freddy, while Shadow Bonnie is completely black. They also have different roles to play, like Shadow Freddy just being Easter eggs on the camera, while Shadow Bonnie just stares at you. These two great Easter eggs are a big part of Five Nights at Freddy's 2, even though there was an overwhelming amount of characters, 15 to be exact. Well, 16 actually. But they weren't just in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, they were also featured in Fnaf 3, this time being featured in minigames, both different minigames as well. These characters were playing such a big role, especially considering they were just Easter eggs. But beyond these two games, they make little to no appearances in any of the other games. Shadow Bonnie consistently appears as cardboard cutouts, but that's really it. It really defeats the point of making a story around these animatronics and ending it in the middle. Well, that's it. That's the end of the video. There's definitely way more characters that have wasted potential, but these guys are the most popular and interesting ones I can think of. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Hopefully.